Recent whistleblowers revealed the extent of surveillance of EU communications by the US Secret Services. Little is known about the Prism online monitoring programme, but here at the European Parliament in Brussels, MEPs are determined to find out its true extent and seek better ways to protect EU citizens. The Parliament's Civil Liberties Committee has launched an inquiry into the issue, which started today with a discussion with the journalists who broke the news.
There exists a sort of emergent pattern-based identity system for the entire planet and every person that is on the planet. And then this data is fed into geographic tracking systems. The NSA and the CIA have a system whereby they track people, and the slogan is, "We track them, you whack them." This is published, I believe, in the Washington Post most recently. So it is the case that the surveillance data is tied directly into flying robots that kill people without process.
Surveillance of EU citizens by the Americans. What does your committee hoping to achieve?
From a European parliamentarian standpoint, I can say to you that I find it unacceptable that the United States of America is treating EU citizens in this way, applying to it standards that it refuses to apply to its own citizens and its own residents. Quite simply, this sort of imbalanced approach is not one that is acceptable on behalf of EU citizens. That is why we, as a Parliament, as a Commission, have reacted as forcefully as we have.
With the Five Eyes program, and that is to say the Defence Signals Directorate of Australia, CSE from Canada, the GCSB from New Zealand, GCHQ from the United Kingdom, and the NSA from the United States, they have formed a partnership such that, despite the American Revolution against the British, GCHQ can query the NSA's databases of American citizens, where they have similar full-take collection systems. How that's legal is completely beyond me. How that, for example, is democratic, how it represents upholding my country, it to me is quite a dumbfounding thing, because in fact, I'm sure the British feel the same when the NSA queries their system. And I would be quite upset about that as well.
What can the EU realistically achieve?
We spend a lot of time at the European Union level being concerned about data protection. We're looking at revising the legislation at the moment. And yet, on some of the agreements we have with the United States, if information is handed over, we don't know which agencies have access. We don't know what people are supposed to do if they feel their information has been abused. So these are concerns we've already raised in terms of whether it's the passenger name records, what you hand over when you travel, some of the information about exchange of banking information. Parliament has been raising these questions all along, and we feel we've been getting unsatisfactory answers all along from the States.
Whilst most politicians here believe that secret surveillance of email and telephone communication is an essential weapon in the fight against terrorism, they're deeply concerned that it should be under democratic control. And they certainly want EU citizens to have the same rights and protections as US citizens. This is Colin Stevens for JN1 at the European Parliament in Brussels.